we would like, we can go ahead and get started.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah?
Go for it.
Okay, so first off, welcome everybody to our launch party. Yes! We got some exciting news today. Cheryl, if you would please step in and tell us all about the awesome news that we received from Kickstarter.
I will tell you the amazing, awesome. I'll tell you the amazing, awesome news that we got from Kickstarter. They actually reviewed our Kickstarter and they said, "You guys are good to go." And so today on this very launch party, we're going to press the green button together, and our Kickstarter will be live and launched to the world.
Yay!
Yay!
Awesome. So just so you know, we are taking questions on Twitter, and if you're hanging out in the chat, of course, we will love to answer any questions that you have for us. Well, most any questions. I may put the kibosh on a few. Yay! So I guess really quickly, let's go through and introduce ourselves for everybody who doesn't know us. We are the Crying Robots team, and not only are we really cool and awesome, but we also have really great jobs and we have fun doing our work. So,
You couldn't tell.
yeah, exactly. So, really quick, brief introductions. Cheryl, since you've already jumped in and talked about our exciting news.
Yes, so I am Psionic Cheryl Oldine, and I am the leader of this crazy, awesome, talented, wonderful group of people, and I'm like thrilled to be here with everybody at this launch party. So who's next?
Yay! Let's see, who's next to you? We have Anne.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ann Stevenbeck, and I am the project manager for Red X.
Yay! And next, did we lose and
We lost
somebody?
Roses.
It's a little hard to see with my pterodactyl head.
All right, come on, Rose, you're up.
Hi, I'm Rose. Rose McBratney. There go the dogs. I am Riveter Rose, and I deal with storyboards with the help of.
Thank you, Rose. So, John, tell us about yourself.
Hey guys, glad to be here. Thank you so much. It's real exciting to hit the green button today. John Tallis here, the team's digital gladiator, working to beat the drum and get the word out.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have the wonderful, the guy behind the scenes, Alex.
I'm Gearbox Alex, occasionally going by the name Alex Kirchhoff. I am the guy who's bolting things together and making things click. It's good to see you there, guys. Help us, and we'll help you.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. And then we have, I don't know if he's here. I see something else, but Barry, if you're there, if you're not, could you have some of your robot friends speak for you, maybe?
I am Biometric Barry, creative director of this project, this wonderful project, and I'm happy to be here. Not exactly in this box, but part of the team.
Yay! Thanks, Barry. And so, allow me to introduce myself. Let me pull my head up here. I'm Danielle. I am social media as well as general user experience QA. I'm the creepy stalker person who watches your eyes when you play the game.
To see if you like it.
Yay! Exactly.
All right.
So,
You played
Cheryl, do you want to talk to us about Kickstarter, please?
Yeah, sure. So, I am really excited that today we're able to launch on Kickstarter what I think is going to be, the most fascinating game that's come out on the market in a really long time. It's a game that, I think it's been in the kind of like the recesses of our mind and in formulation for months. And it's a game that's time has really come. I think being able to actually be able to speak to a game and command the game with your voice is something that all of us on the team have just been really excited about bringing out to everybody who wants to play games. So we're totally thrilled about it. The Kickstarter is launching today. We'll press the green button in the meeting. And on the Kickstarter, we've got a bunch of really fun rewards for all of you that want to support us and back us in this endeavor. Everything from, options for you to actually be in the game yourself, maybe as a character portrait in the game, or maybe having your own Smithsonian-style exhibit in the game, or even, more fun to have a cameo appearance where you actually get to show up in the game and maybe say something to the players. So who knows what you might want to envision for that, but that could be a ton of fun. And we'll give you opportunities to have Easter eggs in the game, just lots of ways that you could engage and really have a part in making this game fantastic. So we just encourage you all to jump on the Kickstarter page as soon as we hit the green button and launch it, and back us so that we'll be able to bring you this incredible game.
Yay! Thank you. Super exciting. So, Cheryl, would you be able to screen share with us so we can actually press the green button right now?
Oh, yeah. You want to do that right now?
Yeah!
Okay. Are we going to count down and everything?
Yeah, so show us.
Where is it? I think it's right here. I think that's it. That's not it. Okay. It's there. Is it there? There. Is that it? That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Success!
Yay. We did it.
All right. Can you see a Kickstarter page now?
Yes. Okay, let's let's check out the Kickstarter page, guys.
All right. Ready? Let's
Yes.
count down.
Okay.
All of us? All of us.
All right. 10,
10,
9,
9, 8,
8,
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Launch! Yeah!
Ready to launch. It's in.
We're in!
Oh, we got to
Yay!
review and confirm. Review and confirm.
Yay.
Yay! Oh wait, do we have to click it again? Okay.
We have to press 2 green buttons.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yay!
Yes, yeah. Drum roll.
Awesome!
All right. All right. Good luck, everybody. We are there.
Oh my God.
We are launched.
This is great.
Okay, so I guess we can go back to the Hangout.
Yay.
So, the hangout for the most awesome game.
It is.
At least in my opinion. Love you guys. So, since we are talking about how awesome and wonderful and magical the game is, and Cheryl just got to spend a whole lot of time being very, very gracious and not awkward.
Oh, thank you.
So, Rose, glorious Rose, could you tell us more about the story, please?
Alright, okay, so
Whoa.
we decided to pick the coolest of locales for this story, which is, of course, space. And in space, there is Mars, which is the coolest planet. Anyway, there are lots of other cool planets, but I like Mars. So the story goes, a mysterious picture has arrived to NASA of some bizarre door that's shown up on the planet Mars. So you are the astronaut who has to go investigate what on earth this thing is. But on the way there, it crash lands. So you're stuck there. You're stranded, and all you can do is explore. What's beyond that door? What's beyond it? You'll find out when you play. But we're definitely open to some questions. And while we were writing the story for this. There's a big, long backstory to it that hopefully you'll be able to piece together as you're going through the game. And we did a ton of research. We're sort of science nerds, so we kind of went and did some research on Mars, and topography, and the weather patterns, and some biology, and we studied a lot of things to get this as scientifically accurate as we could, while still remaining somewhat fantastical.
So awesome!
Yay!
Yay! And so, like, once again, we'll totally be taking questions throughout the whole thing. So if anybody has a question, shoot it to us at Red Planet Rex on Twitter. You can also hook us up at Facebook. Those of you can come and also ask questions there because that is where I live, essentially. And, of course, in the Hangout, you can drop questions off on the side, and we will answer them. Hey! So, well, Alex, since you're off there in the corner being quiet, why don't you talk to us about some awesome tech stuff?
Hi. Hey guys, that's Gearbox Alex here. So I'm the principal engineer on the project. This game is absolutely wonderful. It presents all kinds of challenges on the development from the development standpoint. Just imagine, this is a game that does not show you stuff. This is the game that you're not pressing buttons around. This is the game actually you talk to. So we actually constantly battling challenges like we need to recognize your voice. We need to be able to recognize your different ways to say the same thing to the game and still understand the command. We need to give you back this the feedback from the game and also give you some ambient sounds and background music and merge it all into this one cohesive, immersive experience so you really feel like you're there. So all of this, from purely programming standpoint, is just immensely much fun. I just love being on the team. I love pretty much every day, well, almost every day of my work here. Another challenge is we're obviously going for multiple platforms here. We want to support as many devices as we can, and potentially even going for desktop platforms in the future. So the technical challenge is to minimize the platform-specific code, so we can easily port the code from one platform to another in the absolutely minimum amount of time. But as I said, the multiple modes of the game, which Barry will talk more about, and this whole idea of giving you this immersive experience presents challenge from the standpoint of making everything so smooth, flowing from one scene into another, and giving you basically hijacking your imagination. There are no visuals here. Everything happens in your head. We just talk to you, and you have to imagine things the way you think you want to imagine them. It's like reading a book in a way, but so much better because you can be in it. So guys, stay tuned, and thank you for being with us today. We really need your support to get this thing out the door.
Hey, thank you, Alex. As Alex was saying, we got some awesome UI happening along with this game. Barry, would you tell us about it?
Certainly. As Alex was just saying, working on this project has been both fun and challenging. The fun part has been trying to match, actually equal and better, the experience of Zork, D&D, games like that, basically in-your-head visuals. So what we did was to create, actually in the end, 3 different options of interaction. First one being text-based, just like the old games of the past. The new one, as Alex was speaking to, which was pure audio. And lastly, we have recently just added a hybrid between the two. And as we were doing that, we kind of came across a new, let's call it gestural system, an interaction with the screen that you can do in all the different interaction options. And it's something that was kind of based on the Maya software, the marker menus, but something that we've taken to a whole new level and an interaction we think you'll all find very exciting. Sums it up.
That awesome. Thank you, Barry. Yay! So the game itself, that's the testing and all that fun part, that is what I get to do, as well as John and Cheryl. And it has been a blast. Every time we've brought somebody in to test the game, it usually ends up running like, I don't know, an average of like 2 hours with the person saying, okay, so when do I get to play this next? Which is absolutely thrilling, mostly because we love it. And the first time I played it, I had the same reaction. I believe Rose and I ended up trying really hard not to go to work the next day because we really wanted to play the game.
Yeah, we gave in and worked, but man, we didn't want to.
Absolutely. So, Cheryl, John, you guys got any more to add about testings?
Oh, just the testing is just so fun. I mean, the fun part for me, like I tested it with a group of people where they were actually problem solving together, you know, and they were saying things like, oh, what are we going to do with this monster? I think we should do this. No, if we do this, it's probably going to do this. And so, you know, you can hear how they're thinking about how to solve the problem that they were encountering, and they were excited sometimes, they were getting a little scared sometimes, they were laughing sometimes. I mean, just a whole range of emotions, and just absolutely delighted to play the game, really having a good time. So, seeing that, it just makes you feel so gratified that you've been able to put something together that people really thoroughly enjoy. And, for me, myself, I can't wait till we finish it, because I just want to get and play it myself. So, I'm going to be spending a weekend just diving in and exploring every inch of it myself. But you made it. I know, but doesn't mean I don't want to play it.
Yeah, it's true.
See, that's it. I guess that's the best thing. I mean, there's still like areas that I haven't been to yet, and so I really want to play them.
Yeah.
So speaking of like finishing up and stuff, so Anne, what's it like managing us?
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous question.
That is a dangerous question. Basically, I'm Analog Ann. I'm the project manager, as I said before. But working with creative people has been really fun and rewarding. But it's a little bit different than working on traditional IT projects and being an IT project manager. So the game requirements are very organic, and so we really bounce ideas off each other, and they continue to grow and morph into really fantastic things. But a requirement may not be frozen because of that. So it gets to be tracking progress, gets to be very challenging, and I've had to readapt my thinking in many occasions. I guess the thing that I get to do is basically say, well, if you change that, basically that means there's going to be a trade-off. So I get the nickname usually of Buzzkill Ann. Waiting on people's parades.
We love you, Ann.
But I try not to be too bad, but sometimes I have to keep everything on track. But we want to get this game to you very soon, and so hopefully my role will be important so that you see it as soon as you can. So.
Yay! Awesome! So, yes, you can get as soon as you can. So, Cheryl, could you tell us more about Kickstarter plans? Like, how is this? How many days do we have? What's our launch and all that good stuff?
So we launched today. So Kickstarter is going to run for 30 days, and the first few days of this Kickstarter, we have a very special reward for anyone who backs us. We're going to give you a beautiful full-color map of the game, and it's going to have autographs of all the team members on it, and we're not going to label the rooms in that map because we want you to have the fun and pleasure of going through and figuring out what they all are.
We'll make you all cartographers.
Yes, exactly. Now that doesn't mean that you can't add your scribbles to the map because you've been through it for a minute and write down for yourself what you do. But anyway, that'll be a special reward that you get in addition to whatever back us at. So if you can back us in the next 3 days, you'll help us out, and we'll help you out with this really cool special reward. And I feel like I'm in a PBS Pledge campaign.
That's okay. So if you guys don't mind, we have a couple of questions on Twitter. So from Betty Jean, she wants to know, how do we make all this happen? So does it start with just a story, and then what?
Wow.
I guess it's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
The idea of a text-based adventure, but we have to include an audio version. We all like text-based.
Could you guys step closer to the, I guess get closer to the computer? We lost you for a sec.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it started with the idea to do a text-based adventure, because on any sort of console or platform or even an app-based thing in my lifetime. So I kind of bring it back, and then from there we took a basic story, and then from there we started just building it, I guess.
And we said, you know, here in Star Trek, you can talk to the computer, and the computer talks back to you.
Yeah.
And we said, oh my gosh, why don't games do that? They need to do that. And so, you know, we came up with that idea, and so that's just a natural for an adventure game. So we took the concept, we got everybody together, we had lots of discussion about where we were going to take it. You know, we had meetings where all of us were on conference calls just talking through ideas and trying to decide whether we were going to have, you know, three-legged Martians or two-legged Martians, you know, any crazy conversations like that. And, you know, in the end, we've been able to refine the concept, you know, get Alex and Gary working on the interfaces and the programming skills, and we've been doing it with people. We've been doing testing of things literally. So it's just kind of this process where from concept to completion, every step of the way, we're defining it, making it better, and delivering it a big win to you.
I know we've said this several times, but everybody that we have tested this with has absolutely. And our 14-year-old son had a great time doing it, and in all ages. So it doesn't matter if you're young or old, we'll enjoy this game.
Awesome, thank you. And so another question, and I'm actually going to send this one over to Alex. So Soup to Notes wants to know, what's it like developing such a unique game?
It's a lot of work, gotta tell you that.
Yeah,
well, most of the time I really spend not coding, but rather thinking actually like 2 or 3 steps ahead. I mentioned this earlier. We want to go and cover like as many platforms as possible. So I'm actually the games like Doors. People developed like a quasi-programming language, which was done like multiple times before. But we wanted to try something different this time. So I'm actually using a completely different approach here with basically using like a quasi-database that takes care of pretty much like half of the logic. It's very interesting to design the game that way. So basically the entire game is a collection of you know, closely intertwined tables, and there's a code attached to it. So if you know programming, you know that when you port the game from one platform to another, basically if, let's say, language changes, you probably will have to rewrite like most of it. But with this approach, because the like half of the logic of the game is in those tables, I can actually grab that half and move it to any platform without any change, and just change that logic that moves the data between those parts of the database. So I mean, this is just from a purely like programming standpoint, just a really immensely, enormously fun process to do. But it takes a lot of thinking, and you constantly have to go back and redo certain things. Like I'm developing those puzzles and things. Like every puzzle is unique, which is really different from like programming, like I don't know, a commercial application, right? Like you're dealing with orders. Or like warehouse processes, everything is the same, right? Like once you define the structure, it's all the same. But in a game, everything is different. Every other location, every other challenge, it's slightly different. So that's why there's so much little unique, bits and pieces of code. And every time you think, okay, I got it. I have the structure. It describes the world perfectly. And then I get to go develop this new puzzle, and I say, oh, shoot, there is something else here that doesn't fit into the model. I have to go back and redo it again.
Sorry about that.
That's what it's like.
Great. It's a little intense there, Alex.
I just have to add one thing. So, like, Alex works the vampire shift, right? I'm online at night. I'm in the East Coast, so 12 o'clock at night, and I see Alex online, and then, I'll get an email from him at 6:30 in the morning, And it's like, he's still working, So he's working all night. We're working all day. We're working all night. We're working around the clock on this.
Very symbiotic.
Awesome. So another question from Soup to Notes, which is actually really interesting. So do we have any foreign language versions planned? Which I think is really cool because between us, I think there's 8 languages?
A lot.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, actually, we are planning some foreign language versions. We're planning some really interesting things. The first thing we're going to do is the English version, of course. And let me get down here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So, we're going to do English first, and then we're going to do some kind of fun things with accents.
So with accents, you mean English, different English accents?
So, Rex right now is your typical, he's got your typical American robot accent or whatever. But we're going to do Rex with a British accent, and we're going to do Rex with an American accent, and we're going to do Rex with a New Zealand accent, and and an Indian accent. So we're going to try a bunch of different accents with Rex. And then after that, we're going to move into foreign language versions. So, we fully expect to see a Japanese version and a German version and a Spanish version and what else?
There's a whole bunch. I'm going to feel really bad for Alex having to reprogram all those different syntax structures, but I'm confident in you, Alex.
Yeah, we know you can do it, Alex. Awesome. So that's the plan.
But that's great. Anyways, I wanted to thank everybody who sent us any questions. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. And I think actually we're going to wrap up now. So thanks again to everybody. Come and check us out on Kickstarter. Again, we're up and running, and you can follow us on Twitter. The handle is @RedPlanetRex, and also on Facebook. Check us out. And this is the Crying Robots team. Again, thank you so much, and we look forward to hanging out more. And if you have any questions, please feel free. Ask us more. We'd love to talk to you guys.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye. See ya.